Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Johnson, many a true nerd, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer. Last time we completed the reunification of Germany, and today we have got our sights set on new stuff. Unfortunately, as people pointed out in the comments, and I realised when I looked at again, this settlement over here is, of course, not actually a settlement I can take. What it looks like they've done is they've come over here, I don't think that's the animation for raids. That's just kind of like they've come over here and like looted or sacked or something, this settlement, but they haven't raised it to the ground because that's got a unique model that appears on the map where this has actually been burnt to ash. So they haven't burnt this city to ash. However, yeah, they have just encamped. This is just the encamp stance right here. So that's why they've got the little camp there. But it's not a settlement I can go and take over. So if I actually go in here, this area is still owned by Middenland, as you can see from like the map up there, where it is still marked as purple. So I can't really go and help. I can offer to go and help, but I doubt they'll accept at this point. Instead of helping Middenland, in fact, we've actually got to go and fight them, because there's a unique plot battle thing over here. The Middenlandians are apparently gathering, so we need to go and kill those bastards. And to do that, we just get the main army of Balthazar Gelt that appears to be back up to full strength, move it into march position, and start it moving home. Now, interestingly, I could, like, march it straight through Middenland. That has diplomatic repercussions, but let's just see if those guys are willing to grant me military access, because if so, it will speed up my, well, if they do, it'll speed up me heading to go and smash their own army, so it'll be a bad decision by them, but let's see if they go for it. There we are. Military access, moderate chance of success. So I can give them military access in return as well. Moderate chance of success, let's go for it. No, thank the gods, I do not have the authority for such a thing. Oh well, never mind. Now that we're in the march position, this will not take too long at all. Off you go, Balthazar Gelt. So what we've got to take into account here for this battle is they don't actually have much in the way of infantry. They've got like some basic infantry units, crossbowmen. They're going to have the superiority in artillery because I can't produce more right now. So all I've got to do is close with my superior troops as quickly as possible and just mop them up. If we head in with a vastly superior numerical army, we should just be able to sweep in. At that point, with our crossbowmen, if we wipe out that first army, their reinforcements will then have to march into our artillery. Should work reasonably well. And the Bretons have shown up. Good old Bretonia. So Bretons, who are to the bloody north of France, of course they bloody are. So the Bretons have showed up, a trade agreement, and they're also willing to throw in a pile of money. Totally. Back to our turn, and the bloody Skull Takers are still floating around. Are you sure you don't want our help with this, Middenland? You can just ask. I will come and help you. So, Balthazar Gelt moves over towards this battle here. But the thing is, this area does not belong to me. This here belongs to Talabekland. So the Talabeklandians, we need to have a quick chat with you. They also have Strength 34 and we're Strength 2. I get the feeling they're not going to be desperately keen on letting us just march through their territory. But apparently they're totally up for potentially a non-aggression pact. This is good. I'll throw in a trade agreement at the same time. And likelihood of success high. There we are. Solemn pact. Sigmar will decide if this is wise. Perfect. So now that we've got that, they will, however, not give us military access overwhelmingly. Fine. I'm just going to go around offering everyone trade agreements, by the way, see if they're willing to accept it. There we are, trade agreement with Stirland, and trade with Wisenland as well. Over the dwarves down to the south trade, they want a non-aggression pact. Fine by me. You willing to trade as well as that non-aggression pact? No, they're not, sadly. Right, that there should have got us a fair bit more money coming in on the trade front. Lovely. Time to send just a bit more strength into Balthazar Gelt's army. After all, we do have those lovely spearmen with shields. Let's send them in. Oh, now this is interesting. So the way public order works isn't that it's like a static thing. It's that if it's like on, say, a -1, that means it keeps going down every turn on an ongoing basis. Ah, I see. In that case, the situation is deteriorating in all of my provinces right now, isn't it? Yes, it is. Well, that's fine. In that case, it's time for a Festag. Festags for everyone, huzzah! So next turn, we will get into some nice feasting and so forth, and all of the public order will start going up. And we've got other good news as well, which is Grunberg has just finished upgrading itself to level 2. Marvellous. So it is now a village rather than a hamlet. That means that its cattle pastures can be upgraded for 1,000 gold in 2 turns to go up from plus 30 to plus 40. on growth. That doesn't feel great, though I guess the replacement would be quite nice. But more importantly, this here has unlocked a new building that can be built in Grumberg, because there's a brand new slot here. And apparently a third slot that will become available when this place becomes an actual town. Very, very nice indeed. Though admittedly that one up there, I'm kind of wondering if that one's going to be like walls, given it's up here next to the city. So, we have choices. So we could build a training field and upgrade it to a rally field, but we've already got one of those at Johndorf, so that doesn't necessarily do as much good. Or we could build ourselves a stables, our first stables. And that there produces our missile cavalry. So if we kind of like our missile cavalry, we can produce some more by making stables. Stables will ultimately take us up to better and better stables, where we'll get Imperial Knights, some shock cavalry. Oh, Outriders, hang on. Oh, sorry, so Outriders is what we've already got. So presumably the pistol cavalry, they're actually, they're going to be worse, aren't they? Let's just check on this quickly. Oh, I see. The weakness of these guys, the pistol cavalry, is mainly just their range. Their range is a lot lower. So range 60 and missile damage 33 versus, range 135 and missile damage 32. So yes, it's mainly a question of range. So, but the possibility of Empire Knights in the not too distant future, that's very, very intriguing. And that ultimately leads out to, ooh, Outriders holding grenade launchers. I like that as a concept. And then finally, Demi-Griff Knights at the highest end. Alright, so we could start getting some cavalry going on, but yeah, for the time being and for a little while, we will not really have many options but just producing the little pistol guys. Military support. Now this is interesting. But I can't do anything with this just yet because that's only at level 3. Shrines of Sigmar produce kind of heroes who are like agents, but agents are significantly more powerful in this game. I think we'll get to that this part. The Guardhouse. This one's interesting. So, a basic Guardhouse basically means enemy heroes are less likely, i.e. enemy agents, are less likely to be able to succeed, and provides, much stronger guys into your garrison. You'll suddenly get more swordsmen, crossbowmen, and kind of the pistol cavalry into your garrison. So, the town is much better defended against attack. The second level, however, is the interesting one. City Watch, which adds walls to the settlement. Because some people are asking in the comments, does this game not have like city assaults anymore? It does, but only if the city actually has some sort of walls. It's not like the old Total Wars, where even if you haven't built a wall yet, you still kind of do a fight in the city. It's just the city has no walls around it. No, this time, if there's no walls, all the fighting seems to happen on, like, the plains outside the city. City fights only happen if there's actual walls to defend. So I could go down that way, or alternatively, infrastructure. Obviously, we've already got the cattle pastures, and we could have a weaving house, and this is basically just a way of producing money. Fine. Alternatively, a tap room, so a pub. That's just a way of producing, public order, or the cattle plains we already have that produce growth. Okay, so that's interesting. Now, bear in mind, of course, if I produce a military building here, that doesn't mean that I'll need to kind of produce things here and then run them over to here, like it kind of used to. If there is within Reichland the ability to produce a troop, then it can be locally recruited at Johndorf. So just the fact that there is a stable here basically provides horses to be recruited at Johndorf anyway, which is kind of nice. So on that basis, I'd say let's get ourselves a stables going on here. That seems like an excellent thing to do. It would be nice to have some cavalry going on. So with that done, let's hold off here and pick up with that main battle next time. Skull Takers are on their move back towards the Skull Fortress. Fine. Okay, armies at sea moving over lakes and seas. It takes time to construct and dismantle their boats as they transition between land and water. Fine, an army on land moved into the sea by selecting it, right-clicking the destination. Fine, A-OK. My understanding is there is not naval warfare in this game. That's been taken back out again, which I don't really mind given, like, the brief time I dabbled with Empire Total War, it really wasn't the best bit by a long way. It felt like a distraction more than anything else. I'm glad that naval conflict is back to being auto-resolved, really. So the dwarves and presumably another branch of dwarves have decided to confederate. That's A-OK. Then, ooh, hello, what's going on here? Omens are ill. Something you have done has angered the gods. Yet they're fickle, they may forgive you in time, or more immediate appeasement might be necessary. So I can give 1,000 gold away in a tribute, fine, and that gets me public order +4. That's probably worth paying for, quite frankly. Or, so be it, we get angry gods, in which case, ooh, growth +20. Why would my realm grow if the gods are angry? I don't know. No, +20 growth isn't worth it. We're growing at a perfectly good rate already. I'll pay 1,000 to get public order up. Public order, hooray! So now at this point, with all of these changes I've just made, now the change per turn is 9 to the positive. 4 through buildings, 4 through events, 4 through commandments, 1 through military presence, and -4 through taxes. So, the conditions at Jondorf will start going up, and as soon as they reach +10, of course, that actually means we will actually get a nice big pile of money, because that was one of my little kind of missions I was supposed to be doing. Now, I believe one of my other settlements probably just finished growing overnight, didn't it? And was it? Yes, indeed, it was. Aleheart has done growing perfectly. No, interestingly, the options available appear to be just a little bit different. In particular, this place seems capable of building gunsmiths and foundries and engineers' workshops for all of the beautiful big siege equipment and just massive guns. Whereas down here at Grunberg, I don't remember that actually being an option, which is kind of interesting. Not sure why that is in that case. Fine. Well, what have you, I don't have to save a space for that because at level 3 I'll get that space immediately. So I don't need to bother holding this spot here because that can just be the 3rd spot. Instead, I say let's go for a weaving house, earn some money. Our surplus is getting a bit low and we need to train some more armies anyway. So, wait, hang on, what's that over there? Oh, blimey! There's a massive spot. Middenland, you're not doing a good job here. There's just orcs all over the bloody shop. There's bloody giant spiders over here. Are you alright? Are you sure you don't need help? We've sent this guy over here. Oh, Boris Todbringer. Apparently you're a git and I need to deal with you later. That's fine. Ah, but more importantly, we've got 2 surplus points here, and that means we can get my main settlement up. Definitely worth it, though. I have just spent, all of my money. Oh, well, we are upgrading multiple settlements at once right now.
Let us begin.
Now you, outside of your normal thing,
So be it.
normal stance, thank you. And now we can go and fight this battle. I'm sure we've got this.
I am the Supreme Patriarch.
No, you're not. Not till you're level 10. I've checked the tree. It specifically says you're not. Right, over here, Balthazar Gelt. You've got a massive, almost full stack army. I'm sure you're ready for this. Now, this is interesting. The enemy failed to spot my ambush. Attack now, the element of surprise will give you the upper hand. I wasn't actually in the ambushing pose, so I'm not sure why that happened. Unless I am, kind of accidentally. I'm really not sure. And in addition, I've got one other advantage here, which is I can put the Razor Standard, i.e. +10 armor piercing, onto whatever unit I wish. You know what, I'll just put it onto one of my swordsmen, because the Great Swordsmen already have armor piercing, so I don't know if it stacks or not. So we'll just put it down onto you guys, and you will be better at the armor piercing business. Actually, that's a thought. Now, screw that, actually. Let's give my crossbowman armor piercing damage. That strikes me as good. So we already knew about his tons of artillery and basic soldiers. The reinforcements he's got coming in. Another guy's coming in, together with just some other basics and the pistol cavalry who have very poor range. So my crossbowmen can tear those guys apart. Yep, let's see how this goes. Now, I'm pretty sure this doesn't count as a diplomatic incident, because this is a plot mission. So therefore, I'm not really declaring war on anyone here. This is just, happening outside of the normal diplomatic continuity. I hope, anyway. And it also looks like they'll kind of be stuck along this crappy little road here, and we'll just be able to start picking them apart, which is good. It means I can get my shock troops right on top of their artillery before they're even able to start firing. So this here works perfectly. And here we are, hiding in the forest. Perfect. Ah, yes, indeed. It's just like the classic ambushes of the old Total War games. So because I've successfully ambushed these guys, and apparently... Oh, they're officially secessionists. They're secessionists, not part of Middenland. Well, that's absolutely fine in that case. That means, yeah, no diplomatic consequences from attacking them. There are possibly diplomatic consequences from the fact I have stepped into the, I don't know, Tabulassian or whatever their name was as land. So there, yep, here we are. There, all their artillery and whatever is trapped at the back here. Where's their... Okay, there's the Hellstrom. There's the Hellstrom and their 2 artillery. What are you at the back here? You're... Oh, sorry, you're just the guys who are actually running these ones, and then you're the guys who are running these ones, and then you're the guys who are running these guys. So if I just get some troops straight in these, basically their artillery has been taken out of the fight before it even gets involved. This here is just perfect. The other advantage I've got here is they've got a lot of spears. And because they've got a lot of spears, that means I can just rush straight down and knacker them. Meanwhile, their leader, Sword Infantry, I can basically send my Great Swordsman straight over to him. So, let's line this up. On this occasion, though I normally like using my crossbowmen just to start peppering them, I'm almost certainly better off just kind of running in during the battle, encircling them, and then finishing them off, because I've got the vastly superior force. So great swordsmen are basically being sent to assassinate their leader. After that, it's 5 units of swordsmen, designed specifically to take out their actual troops here. Just charging out of the forest straight on top of them. My slightly inferior spear troops, however, are going to charge at the rear, hit their artillery before anything happens with all of that good stuff. Balthazar can just be in the middle of the main line, ready to just throw magic at all of these bastards here. Meanwhile, my crossbowmen are at the very, very rear of the army. My mortars are not going to get involved, quite frankly. The battle is too close already. So, you know, I won't be able to really get involved at all. Right, start the battle. Now, immediately pause the battle. I believe Todbringer's forces approach the meeting place. Stay calm and strike when the time is right. The time is right now. The time is right absolutely bloody now. And our units come rushing out of the woods. Beautiful. And we just massively pepper these lads with everything. Our lads are just coming straight in here. Let's get ourselves... Let's wait for them to be joined. They're pretty much joined in the right position now. And straight away, let's send these bloody hounds of whatever over here and see what exactly that does to our troops. Because we need them to be about here, I'd say. Let's send some nice hounds over there. Now, while that's happening, our lads now move into position over here. I want you lads, come on, all of you. All of you lads, meanwhile, turn fire at will off. I want you to run over in this direction. Perfect. Start things off again. And our lads move in and take out the artillery. Oh, the golden hounds! I like the golden hounds. Those are pretty. Victory is apparently already within our grasp. Perfect. This is going very, very nicely. Now, their leader is ideally going to be assassinated relatively quickly. That's kind of the point here. And then, what else have we got here? No magic for the moment. Just drop some nice metal on those lads. And then draw these guys up over here. My crossbowmen are going to come around the back of these lads, which is exactly where I want them to be. And then they're just going to start shelling the rear of these lads. There, obviously, all our artillery is going to break, like, immediately. And as soon as that's all happened, begin firing on the rear. Alright, all of my crossbowmen simultaneously are going to fire on the rear right over here. And as soon as these guys start being shot like crazy in the back, that's it. They'll give up imminently. They're not going to last. Not a chance. You are going to now simultaneously... Yep. That's it. They're as good as done. Good as done. These guys are apparently not done yet. That's fine. In which case, yep, they're running. Shift fire onto these lads. Just put the fire into the back of them. Enemy reinforcements are beginning to approach. That's fine. We should hide to surprise them. No, I think we're just going to wipe them out, to be honest. And now change fire to... Actually, you know what? Stop firing at all. We now no longer need to worry. I'm pretty sure we have won this one here. Now, let's see what we can find out about the reinforcements. We've got reinforcements coming in this way, but it's a small group. Don't think we need to worry, to be honest. Get our troops over here. Protect them with some nice spearmen in front of them. Everyone else can just... Oh, hello. We may have got a small problem here, which is apparently there's just... You know what? Go for... Oh, missile support. Go, go, go. If they're willing to take us on... Oh, you bloody idiots. You're missile cavalry. You utter numpties. Please tell me they're about to be drawn into a fight. No, they're not. Balls. Get your own cavalry after them. Oh, no, I don't want it. This is the thing I do not want to do. I've just lost one unit pretty easily there. And another. Spear infantry. Get into their crossbowmen. Oh, God. This has got a bit wrong. Alright, I've lured their riders right into my crossbowmen. And that's it. They're going to be done. Those guys are so bloody flimsy. They are utterly, 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 utterly dead. I like how flimsy missile cavalry is now. It kind of suits. Okay, I think they've got nothing left but a few units hidden over here. This is part of the reinforcement army. Everything else has now been mopped up. There's a few units that are going to be hidden in the forest. That's fine. We've got plenty of forces in the forest ourselves. Alright, here we go. They're going after this army down here, and the second army is ready to go. And that means in a moment we will be beautifully in position. Hang on a minute. Yep, just fire on them at random. This is all fine. Pause for a sec. We've definitely got some real troops in here. You just charge forward and pin them. You, go join in. And some nice golden hounds of Jihan are in here. Perfect, and they immediately break. Apparently, while I wasn't paying attention there, Balthazar Gelt got into the front line and got himself in a bit of trouble. Luckily, he decided to flee. Marvellous. Now he can get his revenge by just dropping metal on top of them. At this point, they've got nothing left but their leader, I believe. Yeah, just their leader in here. Question is, what can we do to help out? Well, I guess I could cast Shimmering Cloak on one of these guys. Here you go. So now I've got some bonus defense on these lads. Let's just kill their leader a little bit. Shattered. His army's lost. Their leaders are... They're actually kind of almost slightly ridiculously tough. They can just basically just walk out of there. Fine. We lost some infantry. That's fine. We kind of kept... we kept most of our artillery in check. Balthazar Gelt didn't die, which is a good thing. End the battle. Decisive victory. I thought that was sloppy, but never mind. I mean, I dealt with the first army really, really well. It was just the second one I didn't properly draw myself back together for. Quest complete. Loot gained. Big pile of money. And anything else. Oh, yeah. Rank from that, obviously. I believe there was a mention of some decent rewards that were unique. One weapon I already have, in fact. Oh, no. We're up to deciding what to do with them first. Now, taking on the captives. We can force them to man our own units. Or we can have leadership +4. Or treasury. Let's bring him into our army on this occasion. You know what? You are secessionists, but if you wanted to fight for me, then that's all fine. Sword of Striking, we've already got one of those. But more importantly, we have got ourselves a new hero at Jondorf the Battle Wizard.
A hero has enrolled in your service, sire. Such operatives can solve problems that no amount of money or effort would otherwise be able to crack.
Now that's true, heroes are this game's agents, but unlike agents of the old Total War games that just kind of wander around being like, you know, on the map, these guys can wander around on the map, and if they're on their own, then an army cannot engage them just as it ever was. However, there is something a little bit different about these lads here, which is they can be merged into an army as well. And if they do, they are actually allowed to fight on the battlefield. They'll be represented on the battlefield, and if they do that, then they've got spells. So obviously you need to actually unlock those spells, same as anything else. They kind of have a little kind of like a unlocky tree, same as everyone else does. But they have different spells to what Balthazar Gelt have. So, Fireball is like the starting one that he gets up with. So basically just a big ball of magical flames hurling to a nearby foe. So, presumably, yes, powerful explosion, damage by magic and... Damage by magic and fire magic. Beautiful. Good against multiples. Pour from a low angle. Okay, interesting. He shall now be Arnold Klobb. Arnold Klobb the Bright Wizard. Perfect. And of course you can see aside from battling he does all sorts of other stuff. He can cleanse corruption, i.e. chaos and vampiric corruption that are floating around the map if the vampires and whatever get involved. He can damage buildings, so basically he can do the sabotage action. Magical interference modifies the winds of magic power reserve for enemy armies in the local province by -10%. So yep, he can kind of mean that if you're going up against wizards, they've got less power to draw on. He can assassinate, so he's also an assassin. Yeah, he's kind of like a blend of an assassin and a spy, and he can also fight in your army, so he's a pretty big step up as agents go. He can even, if you want him to, actually go after a particular unit in army if there's like one thing you want to get out the way, like for example a long range unit, some artillery. If you wanted to like take out some artillery ahead of time, he could go and do that. He also has construction cost benefits and can be embedded into an army. Yeah, he's just brilliant. I just love the new kind of the new hero way of doing things. I'd say time to get Balthazar Gelt back into our territory before anyone starts asking questions about what I'm doing in the territory of the Tabalacalids or whatever they're called. And now I'm back in my own territory, you can see immediately the healing is starting to go up, which is very, very welcome. So what I'm going to do right away is I'm going to embed my wizard with the treasurer Elgar Huldorf. Because, of course, right now he doesn't have a magic user. There's not much point like having multiple wizards in the same army because they're drawing on the same magic pool, I believe. So, therefore, there'd just be less magic to go around and they'd be able to do less. So, it's better it be embedded with Elgar Huldorf. And as you can see, that now fills a spot in his army. So, in some ways, yeah, his army is kind of weakened because now, really, because there's like one guy here and one guy here, there can only be like a total of 18 actual units. But I'd say it's more than worth it. Anyway, that done, let's end the turn. But wait, Balthazar Gelt needs to level up again. Fine. And he needs time to recover as well, by the way, because, yeah, he got a bit wounded during that last fight. And I'd say it's probably also worth investing a little bit into him as a battlefield leader. Let's get on that too. Marvellous. Now, foolish vainglory. They say you revel in victory. They say you spend more time erecting monuments to battles past than managing the realm. They say you are a fool. Oh, we'll see who is the fool. What does that do? Let's make an example of these rumour mongers and malicious gossip. A punishment is called for. That gets us leadership +6 for all forces. Pretty good. Or perhaps a more humble approach. While you cannot be dictated to by rumours and whispers, less time boasting and more time future planning victories might be wiser. And recruiting a surplus. Recruitment costs -25% for 3 turns. Yep, fine. A humble approach. Marvellous. I do like the number of choices that just pop up. There's like so many choices that just kind of show up here. It's very, very good indeed. Now, I believe the stables are done, are they not? Yes, the stables are done. And that means immediately, over here, even at Jondorf, we are now free to recruit pistol cavalry. Perfect. So, let's start figuring out the most logical way to expand next. We've got Stirland over here. They seem strong and reasonably friendly. They're fine. Averland, not so keen on us, but a lot stronger than us too. Wizardland seem to be cool with us. Middenland, not so sure, but a bit busy dealing with the Skull Takers. And I tell you what, Marienburg over here. Imperial distrust, flimsy, defensive. They strike me as a good group of guys to go and take over as a starting point. Plus, that would actually bring me close by to the Bretons. Now, if I want to wage war on some other humans and take over their towns without having actually to make war against my own people, that there could be a good start. But yeah, it feels to me like my allies to the south are all broadly on my side, but I need to prove my strength and get stronger before they'll confederate with me. But they will totally confederate with me once I've actually got a bit stronger. And these Marienburg gits, they're the ones to go for. Just 2 settlements, no strength whatsoever. Let's get in there and take them out. However, it's now time to build a brand new army. I'd say Balthazar Gelt needs to rest for a bit because he was injured in the last fight. So that's fine. He can stay up here, rest for a bit, and keep an eye on Middenland for a moment. Instead, his best troops are going to go down here. And our treasurer, Elgar Huldorf, does indeed have a full stack army. Perfect. So he's got himself 4 units of spearmen, including the best ones we've got. I've sent him with a great swordsman, together with our finest swordsman so far. He's got a huge number of crossbowmen. He's also got the tiny, only crappy little bit of cavalry we've got. Maybe he could recruit some more on... Actually, that's a really good point. I'm going to pull 2 basic spearmen out of this army. I feel like we are not running across horses. We don't need them. Instead, you are now going to head on your way over this way. In fact, actually, first thing you're going to do is you're going to recruit. There he goes. He's going to recruit a couple of new units of cavalry. He can only recruit that many because that's a full stack army. And he's going to head on his way while he's going there. No, sorry, my mistake. He needs to march first, then he can recruit. Because once you recruit, you have to hold still. Fine. So he's marched there. He'll have those troops by next time. And then we can put him into the march position and move him up towards Marienburg. Now, what do we know about Marienburg, by the way? Anything? I mean, I can see there's a big capital there, and obviously when we get to that, we will actually have to fight an actual city fight, which will be cool. But yes, I think that is about your lot. And the Supreme Patriarch himself can go and hang out, actually, in Jondorf, making it much, much happier. We kind of need to watch the spending, though. We've got a very, very small surplus, and we've completely burnt through our supplies. Right, do we have any kind of missions that we could do to kind of help? Oh, Pacify Outdorf. That needs to get to plus 10%, doesn't it? Yes, 10 public order in Reichland. Oh, as a whole. I didn't realise that was as a whole. Fine. Well, that's fine. Within a few turns, that will happen because everything's going up plus 10 at the moment. Once we've done that, I can then switch over the commandment to get us more money, whether that's in the form of taxes or trade. But yeah, I do feel like presumably we must be making more and more money through a trade than we used to. Trade's up to 232. That must be going up because we've just done a whole bunch of trade deals. And would you believe the game's thinking just as I do? Excellent. It's good to know I'm thinking the right thing because the game is issuing a mission which suggests that indeed I totally am going in the right direction. Time of many emperors. The Mine Emperor has tried... Wait, that sentence does not even make sense. Mine Emperor has tried Shea's dub. Now's the time of Ulfric's wolf. That's right. Ulfric Stormcloak needs to be put down. He's a traitor to these lands, and his rebellion has brought chaos to Skyrim, and step forward, I don't know. Yes, fine, whatever. Be at war with Marienburg. We can do that. And that'll get us leadership plus 16 versus humans. Okay, so a massive morale bonus versus humans. That I can deal with. Now you, into the march stance if you be so kind. The weaving house is done, however, so that's a nice little injection of cash as well. Maybe possibly we ought to, yeah. You know what we're going to do? We're going to actually look at this army here. We do not need this many crappy spearmen. You disband. Meanwhile, the Talabeg clan has declared war against the Templehof, which is one of the undeads over here, because they border Sylvania, don't they? And that's where all of the bloody undeads are. Yep, absolutely. Vampire counts and undeads. Dear oh dear. Well, we can go and help with that later. Someone's gained the trait. Ooh, you've gained the trait income from all buildings in the local province plus 10%. Nice. Treasurer and indeed a merchant councillor. Perfect. So another turn over, and who are you? The Stirlands. We seem to like you. Military alliance and military alliance with Stirland. Yep, done. Right, we're starting to get better and better with them. Perfect. So, we've got friends up in Talabekland who we can help out potentially with the undead. We're going to have friends in Stirland. Yeah, this is definitely going the right way here. Bloody Middenland. And military access for the Wizenland lot. I see no reason why not. Done. Let's get friendly with them too. My troops move over to the border of Marienburg. And we need to figure out what the hell we're going to do now. Because Marienburg is big. And where the heck is the other half of Marienburg? Is it up here somewhere? I don't know. I will say Marienburg does kind of appear to have a very large army present. It has got a 17-stack army in it. And that's obviously just the army. That ignores the fact they've also got a very, very big garrison present as well. Not spectacular quality troops, though, but enough that I would be significantly outnumbered. Strikes me as a very, very bad thing indeed. One thing we definitely can do, let's get the weaving house upgraded. We need more money urgently. But as for the war against Marienburg, I need to consider my options, so we will pick this up next time, ladies and gentlemen. So, coming up soon, our first big war against another power, and also besieging and taking a city, hopefully at least. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Total War Warhammer. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Apparently they've all decided to bring knives to a gunfight, which is a terrible idea. Oh yeah, you try charging, why don't ya? Oh dear. Never charge the man with the shotgun. Does it involve me going and killing people? Because if so, how many and where? Right, this is embarrassing. I've kind of just locked myself out of my flat. Do you happen to have a spare set of keys?